Welcome back to part number 20 of my Imperator Rome playthrough as Rome. We are in the middle of a war here. We just finished one out with Macedon. I had to attack these guys in order to de-exile these central territories in Phrygia, so as to annex them. These Macedon had been at war with this lot here, and they were annexing. They had occupied these territories. So we're going to take this. We have 41 thereabouts aggressive expansion presently. We're going to get more for this activity. I was thinking on the merits of carrying on here and raising our aggressive expansion to 80 or 90, 100 or more, so as to be able to carry on orchestrate a war against Armenia with a high aggressive expansion modifier. And we take no aggressive expansion, but our stability and loyalties and such would tank. But I think we would survive it because generally we have higher loyalties in our provinces than not. Generally speaking, they're reasonably high. They're not low as yet, so there may be some revolts. We can put them down. The further question is, do we need... the reason for going on would be we're all levied or legioned and merked up, or merked up to be specific. Do we need all of these cohorts or armies to attack Armenia? My best guess would be no. My best guess would be we could let these mercs go, and our potent legions would be able to carry on. We have a fairly high cohort count, and it's growing as more assimilation and promotion and such goes on. So I was thinking of letting these mercenaries go, as they're certainly not needed here. They won't be needed for the follow-up war here, and I don't think they'll be needed against Armenia either, which means they can be let go. The money can be saved here at least. Is he moving somewhere? Anyway, I'm going to let them go over the next month or thereabouts once they finish their locked movement. So, if I let them go, I can hire them somewhere else, which means that I can orchestrate these wars and maybe go into Armenia, as well as war with various tribals. I was thinking Alvernia, 4 fat merc stacks would probably do the trick. I can bring some larger merc stacks over if there are none locally available. I can deploy some or all of the fleet for that effort. More to the point, immediately this vassal is going to annex shortly, as I just started the integration. It said it would be like 3 years or some such, because it only has 108 pops. So if we get it more pops, that'll be more efficient relative to our count on vassals, the maximum value we're fairly close to. So we could attack Seminonia first and take Langobardia and Rugia and annex them to our vassal here. I think I have a claim going up here as well, or somewhere. I think I just filed a claim here against Venedia. So I'm going to do exactly that. Where are these mercs? There must be some about. There are enough mercs generally in this area. I'm going to hire them, send them up here to take care of that business. And that should be a fairly repeatable theme throughout the rest of the remainder of this series. We can use our legions to war against majors, while the 4 mercenaries attack and annex territories to vassals. It should work. We dropped a siege here. I'm going to start moving over here, perhaps, to stage for this war coming up. I hired 4 mercs. They're headed up that way. They're chariots, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think, at least. these guys hire any mercs, we can bribe them perhaps. Stack wiped a couple of levies. I think the final siege just fell for what is actionable. Macedon has occupied some of our war partners, but mostly we can take, I think, essentially all of this. We'll take 10 aggressive expansion for our trouble, and this is occupied by Macedon, so there's no way to action it, and peace. Yeah, we don't have any prisoners abroad, though, because we didn't accept any new nations or families and whatnot, so this guy is going to go. So let's pivot over this way. We'll head over here. And we'll swing one pip forward here. I was feeling a bit underwhelmed during that war. It's because this first cohort of Magna Graecia was mulling about here in Sidon. I had forgotten completely about it. I'm going to build out to what cities can be built to. Some of these areas are disloyal, but others can be built to here. I thought I was feeling a bit flush. I have not built my requisite theaters, temples, etc. Why are you not able? Because we have this granary. We'll build a temple there instead. So we're not feeling quite as well off as we were, but we have lots of temples and theaters going up to instill loyalty and assimilate, etc., which should raise our legion count over time. Between now and then we have 50 aggressive expansions, so it seems to be about the time to dabble or dip our feet into a higher aggressive expansion presentation and see what happens. I've come to the conclusion that this diplomatic traditions wonder that we built is overpowered. It not only raises the integration speed, but the diplomatic reputation raises the integration speed by 0.05 per, so that's a 0.45 tick there as well. Gives us more relations as well, so there's less need to integrate them in a timely manner, but we do integrate them in a timely manner. So these integrations are going through at a breakneck pace. Even this large outfit here is 547. Here we have a 557, and we just essentially had that, started that integration and had that client state take a considerable amount of land here. 557 is, what is that? 25 years out. This one is about to integrate 537, but we're going to get it more land here and probably here as well. Grabium, which we just created, relative to the early game, which the vassals would never integrate, like when the game first came out. This is a 546, so what is that, 13 years out. We'll have annexed this whole swath of land for no aggressive expansion. Coriolan, we just really warred with Scythia not particularly long ago. 539, 6 years for this whole thing, no aggressive expansion. So why should we take any aggressive expansion at all? I really don't know. But we appear to be doing just that. We created Petros Micros or Mikros with the idea of doing exactly what we just did. So it's been sitting around the 10 years. We just had Petros annex this swath, but as we created it, early anticipating the need, we can begin the integration here of 5 in essentially about a year or thereabouts. In 534. So that should go through relatively quickly as well. So let's see, do we have a claim in Egypt? We do, we have a singular claim, that's all we really need. I dropped a claim here in Thamud. I'm not really sure it's worth my while, as it would probably have to be a direct annex. And he doesn't seem particularly enthusiastic about building cities, so it would just be a bunch of tribals. We can do that whenever. Hopefully, at some point, we will be able to take this territory out of Egypt, and maybe we can release something as a client state in some manner to where we won't have to directly annex that. This legion here just made it back from the exile in Byzante. I'd like to force march it, but the morale as such will have to just go. These legates are underwhelming. I wonder what would happen if I plop down a Popularis. It's not particularly loyal. This doesn't end well, but there must be a more loyal. Who is this guy, and why is he not co-consul? I see. I don't think this ends well either. But Fabia Prima could be a proper... Why is she not employed? I don't know. So, if we plop her down... I'm going to find her a place. She's loyal and she's not a Popularis. Let's plop her down in this position. We'll dismiss her. We can't. We can. And replace her with another Fabia Prima. A bit older. Let's flush out our various legions here. We have more slots available. Let's see. We can add 4 units to both of these legions and supersize them. I was thinking perhaps 1, 2, and 3, 4. That should rule out any sort of defeat by a non-massive outfit, which means we won't be getting the Trepida distinction for these italic levies or legions either. You, on the other hand, do have the Trepida distinction, but with this larger concern, we really shouldn't worry. We'll keep a Magna Graecia in one massive army. We'll just build out supply trains to counter this Trepida, and there we go. That's what we'll do. We'll make it a siege army where it won't have to combat what various things, and that'll be the size of that. Let's do that. If it happens to run into various things, it's ready for action there as well. Looks like we have a few more slots available for our Grecian Legion. Go make it more combative. Illyria has one more. Always use another war elephant. Macedonia has grown considerably as we just annexed quite a bit of territory. So we'll grab some of these and a couple of those as well. Asia. Let's see, supply train, you, and that as well. These units are headed up towards the front, or would-be front. We have a 13 charioteer, a 9 charioteer, a 6 heavy infantry archer outfit, and a 15 charioteer. So we should be able to get the job done, at least for the first group. We may have to reorganize before carrying on, but who knows, maybe we can do it. There are some territories here to colonize. In theory, we could colonize this and get units or pops here and then colonize here and then into here. We get there, we can colonize this as well. I'm going to do all that. Apparently, even if we were to move pops here, it would do us no good, as there are no tribals, freemen, citizens, or nobles there. So We wouldn't be able to colonize forward. We just have to wait for a pop or whatnot to grow here. It must have just migrated somewhere. We do start this war. We're low on money. I wonder if I could dredge up some money with destroying various. Look at that. These barracks are bad news, as you can't move the pops into a city. It's a disloyal. So I'm gonna move, destroy any barracks I might find errantly around here, raise some money if nothing else. These slave estates, there's quite a few of them out here. They're probably useful there, as I never really will move these pops anywhere near a city. But these areas here, there'll be very little or very few pops in the area to make use of said slave estate. And this area I'm not really so sure about. I'm not really so sure about these areas either, although Massilia has quite a few cities. There's some cities here. These areas, well, these areas, tribal settlements also gonna have to go. Anyway, back to this war that's coming up. I was thinking along the lines of the client state annexing Getia. We need to get this client state created so the 10 years can pass sooner, and then we can action it whenever the opportunity avails itself. So let's move all the pops that can be moved out of these two territories. I'm assuming none are Roman as yet. That leaves one there and one there, which means we can move 2 Romans into this capital and release it as a client state. There happen to be 2 Romans here in this recently colonized province. We'll move them down here. From Tanis, 1 and 2. And that would be, we can now move them here. 1 and 2. And then here. 1 and 2. Just to check. That's a Roman Hellenic. And the provenance is Clepia. We'll go here to Clepia. There it is. We can release it as a client. And now we should have Roman Hellenic. Let's increase the opinion of Clepia. Volumus. A flaw in my plan of this large Magna Graecian legion, siege legion, is there is essentially nowhere that it will be supply friendly except our Roman home province, which is food challenged, and it is only gaining 4.58 food per month. Unfortunately, my plan is not really so actionable, so we'll have to split it off. I think I'm going to dismiss this character as well and put the co-consul onto this Legio Italia, and put Claudia Premia from that. I say so. Let's send her back this way and see if that supply issue resolves somewhat. So this smaller army is supplying, and what is your story now? 38.25 is a lot better than 4 point whatnot that it was getting, so that seems to have resolved adequately. I think these units are close enough to where we can declare this war and lock it in. Some strange stuff can happen. This is actionable right now, and there's no reason not to do it. Maybe they de-affiliate, maybe they re-affiliate with some other tribe that I don't want to deal with. So let's see, we can go here. Force march up here, we'll get there ASAP. Let's try to get to Rugium here ASAP. And then this unit here can force march up and react to whatnot. We'll go here. So this war here is essentially ready as it's ever going to be as well. And we'll trigger this whole lot right here. Let's see who we're at war with. Just these guys here. I'm going to force march at all of these forts and try to catch them before they garrison up. We have a couple of attacks we can make. Stack wipe and assault that. Another stack wipe. Another stack wipe. And assault that as well. And can't do it. Okay. Dropped a siege somewhere here. Let's carry on down here. Will an assault work? It won't. We'll try one here as well. We've assaulted this away. Let's go here. We've won an award. Various sieges. Won an award or two. Stack wipe. Look at that, it worked. Alright. How goes this war up here? Reasonably well. Why are you standing there doing nothing? We don't really know. The siege is started at 64%. Should we assault? No. Well, we're kind of food challenged, so let's do it. We've done it. Let's get back to food friendly. Actually, we can eat the enemy's food, or we can go here. We'll go back here as well. We don't have to go anywhere. It says we can station here. Not exactly sure why that is, but shouldn't this unit plus this unit equal the same supply requirements as... Apparently it's not true, though. If I group them together, it was all red, but separate them with the same number of cohorts, it turned green. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Let's assault it. We shouldn't have. Well, we have, though. We've done it. Let's head, well, where? Can we engage this unit? Probably. We'll head here and have you head up in here and assault that. We can't go there? Uh-oh. We need a fleet. We need a Merc Navy to transport, or we could just not worry about that. Or we could try to get some access. We can do it. From this fellow. Now we'll go there. Looks like our diplomatic reputation has preceded us, and we're able to get access where we might not otherwise be able to, thanks to our diplomatic traditions, Great Wonder. My best bet is that Macedon has not committed to the sieging effort like we have with our technologies, as he is still sieging that fort that he was sieging when we peaced out with him in that war that we have long since abandoned with him and gone on to this, or this, and then this. And he's still right there. A minor addendum. We need the stability? Not really, though. So we'll skip that. I haven't been paying this much mind. There's not a lot to do. I just sent them to the forts, having them mull about. These guys are dancing around. There's no knowing how many times I've missed the AI going here and then stopping here and stopping. I just ignored it, and it seems to have resolved as the end result of nothing happening. This war here is peaceable, and I'm pretty sure we can take all of it for not much aggressive. We can't do it. 115, so we'll have to separate peace. A separate piece here for 20 war score. And then peace out with that whole lot again. 95 war score, 12 AE, let's do it. Our cross major river colonization seems to be working reasonably well. More hepatic tribesmen, and here another hepatic tribesman. Not really assimilating very quickly. And what about here? Oh, another almost done. Good for me. So what does that mean here? It means we have a singular Roman and a singular Roman here. And another Roman, this Scythian, is about to be assimilated. And a Sarmatian is about to pop up. Which means we'll have 2 Romans here. 1 Roman here, which means we could move up to 3 Romans here. And we have Sarmatians. We need 8 pops. The dominant number needs to be Romans, so we would need at least 4 Romans, perhaps 5 to carry on with our colonization efforts over to the day. So we'll have to wait again. So, warring with Armenia, at this point we have only a 15% AE modifier, and that will come down to 0 by the time this war is finished, which means we would end up with about 100 AE and no claims against other majors, as our truce with Egypt ends 540, and this would finish well before then. So we would essentially do it for nothing. There's no point in having 100 aggressive expansion unless you can carry forth into another war and get no aggressive expansion in that war, the upcoming one, or the war after that even. You get 2 major wars with nothing other than the original aggressive expansion you took. So are we going to war with Armenia? We're not. Meaning that our legions are freed up to do what not. When does our truce with Macedon end? 541. So we can attack Gedia as we're here and annex that territory to Volumus. Or we can traipse over here and attack Alvernia and annex Alvernia to this vassal here, which I'm much more inclined to do. Why exactly I'm more inclined to do that, I don't know. We need to sell this territory. Why would I traipse all the way over here, eat food, and then traipse all the way back to this area for Gedia when my legions are right here? I don't know. So we'll go up here. We'll take over Gedia, annex it to Volumus, and then we'll go to Alvernia if that's applicable. Do we have, what's our range here? Look at that. We would have to annex this directly to Rome proper. And that could get to be a lot of aggressive expansion for essentially nothing. I think the only reason I have this claim here is because of that bug that happened when we took this and didn't ask for it. So I'm going to sell all this to Dienum, and then we'll see if that claim is still actionable. I don't think it will be. Almost forgot about this war here. Let's see if we can assault this fort. This one as well. Alright, I'm going to pick up these legions. These are headed up overland to this area. Let's see if we can get, we'll go here instead. We'll group up here and then head up to Gedia. Maybe drop a couple, yikes. This area here is going to be underwhelmed relative to garrison or the front. But we have our vassals in the area. And exactly what is there to ravage in that area? There's nothing there really so much. So, Siege of Rugium has fallen. Who are we at war with here? Just a lot. Let's head here. Some of these armies here are less than adequately fed. So I'm going to drop a couple of armies, the ones that need food here. Have them traipse up around this area. Maybe they become involved in the war, or maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. They'll get some food. And then we'll extract probably, however, by the sea or maybe head back over land. Over this way to Avernia, there's no rush. We have some AE to burn down and not a lot of claims or things to do, so we'll just wait. Amended that plan slightly. It looks like Tribalia is associated with Getia as well, so we'll be able to travel through this territory as we occupy it, which means that we need to we can travel up through here. The trouble is Macedon will give us military. Well, that's not trouble. Our diplomatic traditions wonder comes through again. He's happy to give us access. We don't really want it, but we'll take it here. Which means we can travel through this area up through our vassal and into Tribalia and beyond while replenishing our food. Let's transfer the occupancies to Leucarcitus or Citus and see about piecing out. That work. We won't do it though. I think he still has armies about. Must be the reason. Dredged up some more war score. Let's see if he's agreeable now. He is. And we've done it. I'm going to head these mercs over towards Venetia and company. So if we attack him, what happens? Well, first of all, we need our claim to hit. 60% done, so but then Agaphonia has joined. So, well, the more the merrier. We're about a half an hour in this episode. Let's call it there. These guys are going to head over this way and engage with these tribes that actually will probably be more challenging than the previous affair, but we are up to the task. Leucarcitus has more territories. Perhaps he'll be able to aid us more. He's going to integrate 541. Even with his doubled size, it's still timely. We're headed up here. We'll take Getia and annex it to Volumus. That's about the size of it. And then head over to our Vernia. I hope to see you in the next one.